What is going on YouTube? Dr. Al Wade here. And even though August didn't ask for this video, I think this video will help him too. So this is about rallying, and I think this video will be for everybody. I want to go over who should be rallying. I want to go over um who I think I want to go over who should be rallying. I want to go over what makes a good rally. Then I want to give you some notable pairs for KvK1 because that's most relevant to the what my alliance is going to be going through. And then I just want to talk about like maybe some other considerations that you might think about. Right. So who should be rallying? So for the whales, that's the most simplest answer. And essentially, let's say you didn't have a whale, right? There, it wasn't as clear as day. You know, this dude. In general, the more power you have, the better tech you have, the better gear you have, the better commanders you have. So if this dude is double what anybody else is, right? Then there you go. You got who's gonna be rallying, right? And in certain circumstances where he isn't online, then maybe the second or third person uh, rallies. Fingers crossed they're not all in the same time zone. Then you stuck probably just defending, right? I wouldn't suggest anybody, that's not super powerful with good commanders and good tech rally. You're going to end up with a lot more deaths than you would if you would have just waited for someone else. So it's more effective just to wait. Now, if you have to defend, then you just have to defend. And I think there should be a lot of people around, you're the top 10 of your alliance mark that should have some pretty good garrison captains, right? I'm focused more on garrison than I am trying to rally something. I won't actually get a whole bunch of rally only people. I'll focus more on garrison. And that's if everyone else isn't online, like these people aren't online and I need to garrison something, right? Just in case, right? I hate to not be able to defend. Okay, so that's who's doing it. And everyone else, you just have to join the rally because the rally doesn't care about anybody else's stats other than the leader, the captain, right? His tech, his gear, his commander, his skills, um, all that. His talent points, everything is VIP is a big one, right? Because look at all these attack, defense, health, uh, troop capacity. That one doesn't have anything. Oh, that one gives you march speed. I didn't even peep that march speed, right? Right, you get a lot, and then all those stats are given to your troops when you're in that rally if they have that. And August has the vast majority of that, right? I think he's like VIP 14. He's getting like 20% more stats, damn near, right, than everyone else. Okay, so there you go. So now I want to talk about what makes a good rally. And when you're doing any activity, this goes for any activity, you want as many skills that are relevant to the task that you're doing. So let's take Sun Tzu for example. The task where all four of his skills are relevant is only in garrisoning a city specifically. So if I garrison a flag, the only ones that are relevant is art of war, master strategist, and then the ever-changing tactics. Right now, if I was defending a city, all skills would be relevant, and that's where Sun Tzu is probably going to shine the best. Um, sort of, so to speak, is where all his talents are relevant. Usually, in the general sense, that's true. I think he's really good in the open field as well, but because of the AOE. But I digress. Okay, now let's get to the some of the rally things that you can do. So one thing I want to put in your mind is that okay, let's say the structure is field. I think a flag can have. Let's just double check so I don't say nothing silly. I think you can have 1.5 million in the flag, right? And if you get to City Hall 25 and Castle 25, you would have um Council 25, you would have 2 million that can join a rally, without any extra army capacity or some shit like that. Now, let's assume it's KvK one. Maybe let's say your whale hasn't reached that point for whatever reason. They're only rocking a 1.6. That's still an advantage because you're bringing 100K more troops for the rally. And I think most people, if you were trying to be safe, I think they would at least have the 1.6 million rally. So right off the rip, the the rally does have that going for it. Uh, so just keep that in mind. Now, in terms of some combos that you could do, right, in the early game, I know this sounds like a weird one, but like Ethelflaed might actually not be too bad. It's definitely not the best, but she's one of the only rage engines that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense in a rally context. You have to bring mixed troops, so it's kind of weird. You have this march speed reduction, which doesn't matter, and then this skill doesn't matter at all, but the debuff is substantial. And I would make the argument. I know we're getting more advanced. If you're going to do a double rally on a structure, right? If you're doing a double rally, right? You're primarily taking, and you were the person that was attacking second. So first rally hits. Alpha flies the primary on the second rally. That rally hits, right? You would be taking considerably less damage because you don't take normal attack damage. You just take counter attack damage and skill damage. So 20% is pretty relevant. You will be giving a major debuff, um, and still do pretty good damage, to the structure. And then on top of that, you're bringing 10% more troops to that rally and 20% more attack. And then, like when you do slow, you'll get 20% more damage when they're affected. And if you wanted to cheese it, you could always just get 1 point into here where each skill uh, reduces their march speed, and then you always have that slowdown like most of the time with how fast you're firing off the skills. And I think the slow lasts 3 seconds. Boom. Right? I think that's noteworthy, especially in the counter rally context. Now, like again, this is the early game. You don't have a whole bunch of options, right? Another rally that you could do that a lot of people do because a lot of people are specking into calves early on. You could do the minus style. So it's like a glass cannon. You get a crazy amount of damage. You get a nice debuff that'll make the enemy take more damage. You also get an attack reduction on the rally, a whole bunch more damage again. Get some healing and rage restoration. And then let's say I wouldn't say that you would have them. You could have South expertise, but I wouldn't go that far with it. Maybe you have them like, this skill is try to max this skill, and then maybe a little bit over here. Your Maya is probably going to be maxed. And I mean, I think for calves, KvK one, that's about as strong as you can get it if you were going to be uh, cavalry focused. But you're squishy, so the problem that I would have with that rally, while it does do an insane amount of uh, single target damage, you're very vulnerable to getting uh, counter rally, particularly by tanky infantry marches. I mean, swarmed rather by tanky infantry marches, which would nerf your damage pretty substantially, especially with like for example, Charles Martel or Richard uh, Sun Tzu or something like that. Like I'll probably just hopefully the person that's doing that is going to be like a Charles, probably Richard, and that would be the only thing that I'll be concerned about is them, trying to essentially swarm you because they know like yeah you do a lot of damage, but you're squishy as fuck, and you're not really doing a whole bunch of counterattack damage to them, right? But if you're not worried about the swarm, I think that's pretty strong. Another rally that you could do is like a Charles Martel, and then Yi Song Ye. Charles Martel is the primary bring all infantry. I think that that's particularly good because when we're talking about you getting swarmed, which is more likely to happen in a KvK1, you have a shield, you got a damage boost, and that helps Esong's damage. Right, you're bringing full infantry. You have really good defensive infantry stats. And you might not even have expertise at this point, but you have some amount of counterattack damage. So all those little armies that's going to be attacking you, you're already bringing at least 1.6 million troops. And at most, these people have like 210, maybe with an expansion 240, troops that's in their army. They're getting wrecked 100%. And then if the Yi Song Ye is expertise, right, they're gonna take an insane amount of AOE damage, and I would make the argument that if they saw this combo to Martel with the Esong full infantry, they wouldn't even try to swarm you, right? It ain't gonna happen because if they do, they're fucked. 100%, they're just fucked, right? It's too much damage coming. There's too much damage coming from Esong, especially if he's expertise. Maybe they hit the backside of you if he's not expertise, and that's why he needs to be expertise. But if he is, I mean, Houdini himself couldn't swarm that bitch, right? It ain't no magic tricks happening with that. 100%. I like that. I like that pairing a lot. Martel continues to impress me as offense and defense, surprisingly, right? Okay, let's go for something more accessible that might actually be, you know, more so buffed out. Because let's say, again, these are all that I just mentioned. Like Minamoto isn't gold key. You can get him expertise, and for the same reason, you can get Mina pretty far if you're buying the daily special offer. So I think that's a pretty reasonable rally, like a really more practical, down to earth rally for okay. Even me, I'm gonna have at that point have an expertise Minamoto, and then Southside will be in a way better spot. But like, let's say you weren't really gonna put any sculptures into Martel yet, right? And you weren't gonna, and it may be still kind of early because you might not be done with all of the wheel cycles on YSG. So it's like, okay, if I expertise them by the time the KvK happens, it might be a chance, right, that you're not even done with all of the Isanye wheels. Um, you at least when you need to fight. So you might not even have them expertise. It's a good chance that you will have them in still a decent spot though, and you can still use them for some stuff. But maybe you want to bring something different. Uh, Another down to earth strategy might be and the thing is that only two skills are relevant on Caesar, so that's kind of steering me away from it. Right now. But you could use JC if that's what you had. If your Martel wasn't at least 5.5 1 1, and you had a 5.5, 1 1, Julius Caesar. But I don't know. I feel like you would have one mighty governor with Martel, right? If you were, the whales would get some Martel. So scratch that. You should have Martel in a good spot, just because you would have at least one or two, maybe even more of the Charles Martel Mighty Governors, and that would be enough sculptures to get him to a pretty good spot. So never mind on JC. I think the last uh, combo that's pretty down to earth, and there's other ones like, for example, you can use Freddy, especially if you were to expertise him. That's a lot of damage, a lot of healing. But again, only two of his skills are relevant. I want to talk about the best that I think that you can do, and I think it's very, very natural too with the way that the game's working. So let's just set the stage before. On defense, on a flag, you're gonna see a lot of Martel, Richard Martel, Richard Sun Tzu, Martel Esong, maybe a Richard Esong. You're gonna see Sun Tzu, hopefully not Sun Tzu, more Richard Martel and Esong, right? You're gonna see a lot of Martel primary with Esong, probably a lot of Richard and Martel, something like that. So, and you're usually gonna try to fill the flag with all infantry, right? So that's the stage. And then here's the best part. This is where the I think the best combo in the KvK one is really the LC with the YSG, because let's just start here. Every single one of LC skills are relevant in a rally context, right? You get, and people shit on LC. I don't know why people shit on LC. I don't know what that's about. He's a good commander, and while be it he doesn't hold up the same way that like a Martel does over time, he still ain't bad later. Begin because all of his skills are relevant in most activities. So the first ability, right, is kind of like a tank in disguise, because for 1 second you can't use an active skill and you don't take any normal attacks. So like literally you're not even really taking damage every time you fire this ability for 1 second. That can be a lot of damage that they're missing out on, right, over the course of a rally fight. Again, you have a 10% chance to proc, 1,000 damage factor, so that's 100 damage factor per second on average over the duration of that rally, right? You get Archer Defense, which is really good, especially since you're pairing them with the Glass Cannon YSG. The March Speed bonus you don't get a lot of benefit from unless you're a marcher from far away, but that's not too relevant once the rally actually hits. And then once the rally gets, less than 50%, you get a 25% damage bonus. That shit's serious. Very, very serious. And then, right, that damage bonus and all of that, you can get, the YSG damage. Again, when you have expertise, for the same reason you don't want to swarm Charles Martel, same reason you don't want to swarm the LC YSG when YSG has expertise. You just don't want to take all that skill damage from a 1.6, 2 million, reinforced rally. And, I think the Charles Martel, you definitely don't want to swarm. I think this is more swarmable, but I still wouldn't do it. You're actually now at this point, you're getting benefit from the Archer attack bonus. Big plus. You don't get any benefit from the Garrison Watchtower, and then you get the skill damage, which is relevant on LC, right? So with the Martel, the skill damage doesn't really help Martel, but with this combo, the skill damage helps LC and YSG. You also get benefit from the Archer attack. So there's literally, 7 skills that are relevant in this combo, right? When you're talking about the Martel Esong combo, which I think is probably the second best rally you could do on an objective, right, on a flag. This is relevant, this is relevant, and this is relevant. So that's 3, right? That's 3. Then you got 4. Half of this is relevant, so 4.5. This is not relevant, and this is only halfway relevant. So you at 4. You're at 4, 4.5, 5. So only roughly 5 skills are relevant, right? Versus 2 more skills, right? So to speak, if you're counting like half of the effect, are relevant with the LC and the E-Song. I don't know if I can't think about the dates and see if LC it, because first KvK, most people are saying day 70 to 100. Let's see, LC it comes out in Mighty Governor. Let's see, 8 weeks for the first cycle. That's 56 days. No, you probably won't have a lot of LC it. Probably won't have a lot of ALC it. Martel will probably be in a better spot. But like, let's say your LC was 5-5, 1-1. I still think that's a pretty good rally. Man, because like again, a lot of these skills are are very relevant, right? And the two most important skills on LC are the first two. And you're bringing all archers, which is also a counter to any garrison that you're probably going to like encounter, right? Now let's go into a build because I want to go into some builds. So you can do. I don't really even think it matters who's a primary or secondary. Maybe you do E-Song primary because LC it does fall off, right? Maybe just do E-Song primary. And then the talents that I would do. You see, do I have any archer commanders? I don't. I think this is a bitch. Let's just go to Herman because he has the same talents. I would get rejuvenate first, right? And then I would probably max out the like again. Here's the important part. You have to bring full. You have to bring full archers to this, right? And if anybody doesn't bring full archers, they're fucking up your rally like big time, right? But you just kick them out. You just have to do it because if you don't bring full archers, this whole plan is fucked. You would go all the way up here and get whistling arrows after you get rejuvenated. You got extra talent points. I would definitely get razor sharp because you want to regenerate that rage. And again, you're gonna tear. I'm trying to find it out. Archer health. Yeah, this one. Thumb ring. You're gonna tear up infantry. Oh my god, 9%. That's just gonna be disgusting. If you got extra points, I would get the heraldic shield, and I'll also get tactical mastery. So essentially, max it, get rejuvenate, max this tree out, get razor sharp for the extra rage regen, get a little bit of skill damage, less taken, and then get tactical mastery. That's what I would do. Okay, it's as simple as that, and that shit is gonna do so much work for you. It's not even funny. 100% not even funny. And I think that's the best rally combo you can do on an objective in KvK 1 at least, for all those reasons I just said. So let's go into some etiquette when it comes to. We had to do a little stretch there. Let's talk about things that you should be doing. So what you can do, you want to kind of get all of your ducks in a row before the rally happens. So a lot of times what I like to do is that you can, let's say you didn't even teleport close to the flag or whatever you're going to rally. Let's say you teleport, right? Maybe you're probably already there because you want to defend the flag when you build it. So like you're about as close to the flag, right, as I am here. And then let's say this is the enemy flag, right? You would tell everybody to reinforce your city first. As many people as you can. And you probably want some field control. So you actually got people around their flag, ready to go, right? You controlling the field. And then you get as many people as you can to bring all archers to your city. Then you launch the rally, right? You launch the rally, 5 minutes, right? Fill it up, right? After that, and then most people that reinforce it just gone, right? Just join the rally at that point, and then more people might join the rally. And here's the key: don't don't join a rally from far away. It doesn't really matter if you're less than 5 minutes away and you're just now doing the rally. But once that rally actually hits that flag, right, you don't want to reinforce that rally from far away because, like, let's say for the same reason you don't want to reinforce a flag from far away. So let's say I go to reinforce this, right? I'm thinking I'm helping. uh, Make it realistic. I'm gonna like literally send all. Let's see. So this is my archer group. I want the march speed. I'm sending all archers like he asked. So now I'm going all the way here right now. You see it says that the reinforcement capacity is 38. Whatever the troops that I sent, but they're not actually in the flag yet, right? So let's say all those dudes that were sitting out with all archers right in front of the flag, right? They were already sitting outside of the flag with all archers, right? Now they could have joined that rally right then and there, like literally they're right in front of the flag, right? They could have joined that rally right then and there, but because I done reinforced from this distance away, right? I'm taking 38, basically 40K troops that can't join the rally, so you can't like keep that rally like really really full, right? And then if you got 4 or 5 people doing that, you might only have like 1 million troops in the rally itself, maybe less than that, right? So you're missing out on having a full rally just because people are reinforcing far away, and I'm still not here, right? That's a lot of time that went past that somebody could have joined that rally, who couldn't, that was right in front of the fucking rally because you decided to reinforce from far away. So that's why you don't do that. That's the biggest thing. And then let's say somebody does make a mistake and doesn't bring all archers, right? It's up to you to like literally look at the rally, see who's in it, and then like straight up just kick people out who, you know, don't have full archers. It's that serious. You will kill this plan doesn't work unless you bring all archers, right? You will be your toast, 100%. Your some of the talents won't even activate unless you have full archers, right? So a big benefit from being all in on that talent tree is that, right, your archers are doing a whole bunch of damage to infantry, but you need archers, right? Uh, when you're when your army contains only archers, your normal attacks can increase all of your damage, right? Big numbers. And then when you have only archers here, your normal attacks can trigger an additional damage factor. So additional damage factor and more damage, all damage, right? Normal attacks, counter attacks, and skill damage. So if you're not, bringing that, if they're wrecking that, right, two of your most premium talent points for archers is going to be wasted, right? For the rally are going to be wasted. So you have to get this right, and that's why people are so anal about even when you're doing barbs. I said all calves, I said all infantry, because if you don't, and that's a rally, you're literally costing people millions of speed ups, millions of troops over the course of a whole KvK if you're constantly making those mistakes, because the rally isn't as good as it could have been. And everybody doesn't have the speed ups or the resources to be training more troops fresh because they killed instead of them just being in the hospital, right? More of them being in the hospital. So that's what I got for the rally. That this is a pretty comprehensive rally guide for KvK1, and I'll see you in the next video. August and the rest of the alliance, this is out of love for you guys. Don't fuck this up. We can be a force. I mean, a real force on the battlefield. We got so many good players. We got a lot of potential. People are hungry to grow. It's just we got to get the discipline. We need an army full of good critical thinking minds and a lot of discipline to really think about what they're doing, and then we'll steamroll, 100% steamroll, because these other people, they're gonna make these mistakes, but we ain't gonna make them mistakes. We gonna have a rally maxed out, reinforced with the right troop type, and they're gonna be doing like an all infantry plan on defense, but somebody in that fucking thing is gonna bring a siege unit or accidentally bring some archers or some cavalry, and they're gonna fuck it up, and then that's their ass. That's that flag's ass, 100%. That's their ass. It's over with for them, right? So there you go, master governor status.